Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar. And in this video we are going to be continuing talking about the new Hedonites of Slaanesh coming out in their third pre-order article on Warhammer Community. So in this article we're going to be talking about 3 different ways to build your Hedonite host. So this is, like I say, the third article they've put up, and this is something I've been covering every day leading up to their release, as you can see now. And yesterday we talked about the Lord of Gluttony, and this one we're going to talk about the sort of 3 different sub-allegiances, if you like, for your Hedonites of Slaanesh. Now, I haven't actually read through this yet, as again, when I do these, reading through these articles, I like to read them first with you guys, so then I sort of contain my excitement and see what we're going to get. Hopefully we're going to get some insight of the rules, because with the last 2 we didn't really get any insight of the rules, so it's nice to maybe get some insight now to know the rules are going to be in the new book, because although I always say I love the story and I love the lore, the rules really do something that entices you, right? Like for a new update in a book. So that would be cool to see. So anyway, like I said, 3 different ways to build your Hedonite host. So let's see what they have to say first. So the swirling masses of chaotic hosts manifest in many forms. Whether it is a swarm of demonic horrors, legions of mortal devotees, or somewhere in between, the Hedonites of Slaanesh, appropriately for the chimeric nature of their Patreon, field widely varied armies in the search for their imprisoned master. In preparation for their pre-order, going live on Saturday, we are looking at some of the various ways you can build your Hedonite force. So then we get a picture here of some Hedonites fighting some Lumineth. I think this is a new photo. I don't think we've seen it before, but it looks very cool. It's actually interesting just to see like the Thane of Slaanesh. If you buy a multiple of them, take the Keeper's head out. Well, I know a few people do, and just mount it on the temple scenery. It looks quite nice there. Just a little side note, nothing really to do with the article. But also, I don't know if this is new or anything, but this is sort of the first time I've really sort of seen Sigvar's model, and he's not actually that big, so that's interesting. He is actually quite tiny, which I thought it was going to be huge, so that's disappointing, but hopefully then he won't be ridiculously expensive, because the Games Workshop try and charge a lot of money for that. That is not going to feel right at all. Anyway, some pictures here, and then going on to what they say next is, as we mentioned in our previous look at some of the Battlezone's juiciest contents, you can field an army of Slaanesh in 3 distinct ways to obtain powerful benefits for your units. So that's 3 sub-allegiances, basically, like they've mentioned before. Then talking about the first one, by the looks of things, we've got Godseekers. For those hunting down any trace of the Dark Prince's whereabouts, nothing is more important as the speed with which they race across the realms. When it comes to battle, closing with their enemy is priority number 1, so Mount and Rider alike can lose themselves in a frenzy of bloody carnage. To help them on their way, all Godseeker units add an inch to any charge move they make. I mean, that's alright, it's not great, but then again, when you look at Iron Jaws and you see that they've got +1, I think it's for review this not long ago, I think it's the Iron Sons that get the +1 to charging, then you can see how this really does stack up. And so it could be really good, because there'll be lots of other ways to buff your movement in this army probably. So it doesn't sound like much, but it could be good. You know, you never fail in 3-inch charges or that sort of thing. So yes, that is good. And then it says perhaps even more clonally sweet that than that Godseeker host can take Seeker chariots as battle line units, allowing you to field an entire army of blindingly fast cavalry that will sweep across the tabletop before the first turn is over. After all, as we're sure Gluttonous or Collins would agree, something worth doing is worth doing right now. So, yeah, of course you can take chariots, but I'm pretty sure this is similar to how Slaanesh work at the moment. But anyway, like what I will say, like with that, if I got that a bit wrong, let me know in the comments down below, and just tell me your thoughts, generally what you're thinking of what we're seeing here in the comments. Would be great to hear. But yeah, I think you could maybe do that already, or you could take some sort of chariot as battle line. Right, okay, and then you've got Invaders, right? So why have just 1 general when you can have 3? Some might say it is overly indulgent, but isn't that why we're here? Having 3 models on the tabletop capable of using command abilities lets you spread the gift of access to all corners of the battlefield, safe in knowledge that your soldiers will always be fighting at their finest. a little bit unsure about this one, because unless it specifically states in someone's war scroll that you have to be the general, like Lady Alinda as an example, to use her command ability, you can use all the command abilities anyway, so maybe they mean command traits, hopefully, so you get to take command trait for each. Maybe not, but yeah, so a little bit unsure on that bit. But anyway, so we've got another picture here, which is nice. Always say this, I love the Seeker models there. And then, yeah, some more pictures here. And then going on to, best of all, having multiple generals will mean it's an easy choice to make one a Lord of Pain, unlock in Mirmadesh Painbringers and Simbaresh Twin Souls, I think that's how it's pronounced, as battle line units. Ever wanted to embrace Slaanesh's excellence with an elite force of hard-hitting units and none of those squishy one-wound psychopaths? Now you can. Okay, yeah, so it makes a good point that it makes it easier to unlock more battle line options, and obviously that's good in games, because at the moment with certain battle plans you get extra points, victory points for holding objectives with battle line units, etc. So it could be very useful there, and it means you just want to take, like it says, an elite force, as those Painbringers are lovely. You can do so easily here. So yeah, I mean that's always nice. And then it goes Pretenders. So some particular glorious champions simply will not tolerate the eyes of the Dark Prince on anyone but themselves. Cough cough, Sigvald, right? So, and will fight all the harder for it. A Pretender general can select 2 different command traits to take into battle, allowing them to become a concert duelist capable of striking out on their own and hunting down enemy heroes far from their forces. Okay, so you got that, and it says those forces won't be left entirely at the mercy of their opponents, though all Pretender units with 10 or more models can re-roll hit rolls of 1, whether at range or in the storm of melee combat, giving an extra edge to mass hordes of demonettes and Blissbarb archers in particular, so the new archer unit that we can see here. So yeah, well, this very much just sounds like if you want to take a horde or max out units and stuff, this is going to be the one for you Pretenders from what we can see. Just talking about here though, when it says you can take 2 command traits, and they big up Sigvald. Well, unless there's going to be a new rule here, he's a named character, so he can't have a command trait. So it's just like, is this going to be the one where it makes it sound like Sigvald's the one to take in Pretenders, and then it turns out actually he's not very good because he can't take command trait, and then it's Gordrak all over again, right? So hopefully it won't be that. Hopefully it won't be. And then it says, which of these armies will you build when the Hedonites of Slaanesh are released on Saturday? If you haven't quite made up your mind yet, stay tuned to Warhammer Community this week, as over the more few... Okay, we'll be looking at more rules going into the week as more community articles come up, like we know. I mean, if you disagree with me on this bit, fair enough, and let me know in the comments, like I said, but I am a little bit underwhelmed. Like, I didn't really feel like we got much out of this. We already knew those are the 3 sub-allegiances. I'm pretty sure some of those benefits are how they are now, so there's no change. And like I said, something here with like, Sigvald would be good in Pretenders. You can't take the command traits, more than likely. I don't really feel like we learn a lot, because normally what they do leading up to a Battletome release is they'll actually have like a screenshot just like cut out and like cropped to just show you like one ability as a picture, and you'll click on it and then you'll just see like the ability text here as you would normally. So yeah, and they've just given us like little bits here and there, and I'm not really like when they go like best of all, having multiple generals in what was this one, Invaders, means you can take different things as battle line and stuff. I mean, to be fair, like unless it was already out there as information, I didn't know you could take the Mirmadesh Painbringers and the Simbaresh Twin Souls as battle line units. I didn't know that, so we have learned something there. But when it goes like by like means you can take different heroes from like different battle line as generals. I mean, that's something we could have eventually just figured out, right? So it doesn't really feel like we've learned a lot. But maybe I'm being unfair, right? Maybe this is overwhelmingly with news, and I don't know. I just think it's because it's in a different format. I'm not a massive fan, but we still learn out some stuff, right? So it's all right. But we waited 2 days to have some rules, right? And then like it's a bit like we learned that I'm pretty sure, like I said, some of these are still in play at the moment. So it's like not much has changed. But I might be wrong with that, and I don't just want to talk too much on a downer on this one, but takeaways from this. So your Painbringers and your Twin Souls can be battle line if you go Invaders. You can also have 3 generals and that. Hopefully it's not going to be like how it's been in the past where the 3 generals can't be near each other because then they get angry with each other and you can't use your command abilities and stuff, right? So hopefully the Invaders won't have that problem. The Godseekers are going to get +1 to their charge, and they can take those Godseeker... no, what are they called? Seeker Chariots can be a battle line. And then for Pretenders, 2 command traits can be given to your general. And then also, if you have units of 10 or more, you can have reroll hit rolls of 1. So that could be quite good, because I think Slaanesh is going to hit really well. I think if you're looking at a standard characteristic, I think they're going to hit a lot better than wounding, because Slaanesh is fast and everything else, isn't it? It's so skillful. So I can imagine those archers maybe hitting on 3. I can definitely see those archers hitting on 3s. Potentially, depends how many points they are, but maybe hitting on 2s and then suddenly hitting on 2s rerolling 1s are just like a built-in thing at that point. Could be really, really good. I can definitely see the Painbringers maybe hitting on 2s. It could even be hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s, like, because they're hitting so much better in Slaanesh than the wounded. But on that, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, we'll get some more rules news tomorrow. But beyond anything else, guys, what I want to hear is your guys' thoughts down below, like I mentioned already. So, what have you learned here that's made you more excited? Has it made you decide like what sort of way you want to build your army? Do you think it's enough information? Would you like a little bit more information? And are you still excited to get your pre-order in for Hedonites of Slaanesh on Saturday? Let me know down below. What I'd also like to say is if you've enjoyed this video or if you are excited for the Slaanesh release, make sure you smash that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification if you haven't already. A lot of you guys have been doing that recently and I generally really appreciate it. I have noticed and it makes a huge difference. It's absolutely free for you guys to do and it really does help. So thank you so much for that. And also, like, above anything else, I want to do a massive shout out to my patrons, who because of these guys, I can continue to make loads of Age of Sigmar videos to try and help as many people get into the hobby and help them out in the hobby as best as possible. So my top supporters being my Morgasts, doing a great job as always. They're going to be Sandback and Johnathan H, Filq and Bleed Red. Guys of that tier, absolutely amazed. Thank you so much for your support. My Vampires, who do a fantastic job too, which is going to be Mir, Martin S, Rounds321 and David A. And then of course my Necromancers, which is going to be Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Quad, Cranky Wombat, Christopher F, Christopher C, and Ronni H. Guys, like I say, thank you much for your continued support. What I will say is if you'd like to support me on Patreon as well and help keep the channel going, you'll find a link to my Patreon in the top of the description down below. Even if you just have a look, guys, or considering giving just like $1 a month, like I say, goes towards keeping the channel going. And if you can't do that, no worries at all. But if you did enjoy the video and the content, make sure you smash those 3 buttons and tell me in the comments your thoughts about the new news we've got for Hedonites of Slaanesh. I mean, like I said, I would have liked a bit more news, but I don't want to just like rant on about that or moan about that for a while. I don't want to be too sorry. We learned some cool stuff and we got some cool pictures, right? I'm going to have a wealth of photos to choose for the thumbnail on this one, which is really, really nice. So I appreciate that. I will just have a quick look because I think some stuff for Daughters of Cain came out. Don't really care, if I'm honest with you. I mean, if you want to know about the Daughters of Cain stuff, you can go look at it yourself. But the Slaanesh stuff is it's looking promising. I was just had a bit too high expectations of what we would find out today. But no, it's all good news, not bad news. Right, okay, so with that, guys, I'm going to end the video here, as these are meant to be quick videos. I find it really hard to do quick videos, as you probably noticed. But with that, I'm going to thank you again very much for watching. Please let me know what you think down below. And remember, until next time, that to keep yourself safe by washing your hands, wearing a mask, and for God's sake, be hygienic so we can all start playing in a race the Slaanesh way. What I just want to say quickly is I've noticed the emphasis here on archers for Slaanesh. They are social distance pain bringers, so I appreciate that from Slaanesh's bit. So I think we can all do our bit as well to try and help out. But more importantly than anything else, remember until next time that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.